And just to crop and get this out of there too.
The rescue. $17.
It's an interesting subject. I like how the splashing of the wave, the people, the guy right here, the lifeguard, he's not in focus. It's more like this up here that's in, seems a little bit more clear. And then it's, yeah, this has to come out, and this is too hot.
Yeah, when you do your images, you don't need to put your logo on there or anything else. You got to take those out because those do not cut it in competition.
That lifeguard looks like he's handing him like a submarine sandwich or something like that instead of rescuing him. Like, hello, birdie.
Cute by nature. $22.
Exposure, depth of field, colors, all saturated and put you in the lighting. Absolutely puts you right on the subject. In terms of framing, I think he frames real well here, but it's the distracting element. Now I know he's a kid. I know he's got his toys, but yeah, show it again. And that yellow is just too bright. The other toys back there, they draw your attention. And again, you've got some other background elements here, here, here. This is why I don't like judging everybody together, because if it's bronze, you say one thing, and if it's platinum, you say something else.
The other thing is too that I think you can clone all these things out. You just take some of the floor and just that's gone. This can be gone. That can be gone. Darken that down back there, and try to cut that out right into there.
Right.
Great shot. Keep it.
There is a story behind the watch. $26.
It's not a waterfall. I'm not judging. That's good.
Watch out what you say.
I know. I'm watching you. I would like to see a little more light up in these areas, but interesting shot. I like the idea of it, the old car, and the gal up here back probably in the late 20s or early 30s, somewhere back in that time.
I like how you have the reflection over here.
Restless night. $17.
It's that time of year. Kind of cool the way the lighting is, right on top of the grave right there. And the only thing is this seems like a little bit out of focus here on his face. It doesn't seem quite in focus. It's a cool subject.
Foolish.
Abandon. $23.
Oh, this is very cool. The exposure on this, the lighting is very strong. The impressionistic, painterly effect you have here adds to the abandoned room. This is a bed. There's just no question. Is this a dresser? This is someone's room. The light coming through here just comes and illuminates it like a spotlight. You almost get the sense of a very surrealistic scene. I think the lines are very strong. You get this goes into that, goes into that. This all just kind of brings your eye in. That brings your eye. That brings your eye. And that is very creatively done.
Ocean Gate. $19.
Exposures, well, there's really not any strong subject matter here. I mean, you've got this post there and this post here, but and the horizon line is right smack in the middle. Sky's a little bright. Really not a lot of impact. That's one thing that's really lacking on this photograph.
One by one, they swirl and fall. $22.
It's an interesting subject. I like how you have the swirled effect there with the water and the leaves down below, and then you have the one that's floating above. It just looks like the yellow on the one that's floating is a little bit too bright. Other than that, I mean, it kind of has like a neat design for the leaves that are down below.
Thundering water.
No, it's yours. No, it's yours. Waterfall water.
Out of the sink.
$21.
Exposure is good. I think there's an artsy effect to this. The reason I'm saying that is I'm trying to figure out is the depth of field right, and this is kind of art. If it's meant to be, this is not everything. Things aren't quite in focus. The city isn't in focus. Again, that just may be intentional. Composition-wise, in the frame, this big triangle I think is very strong and detracts from the fall and here. The foreground element here is not quite strong enough to really be of interest, and your mid is strong and your background is strong. I understand, however, that sometimes you just can't get the shot because of the angle. I mean, there's like a Golden Gate Bridge shot. Come heck or high water, you always have to have something here because otherwise you'd fall and die. But that at least, yeah, you got the shot. But that at least could be cloned out.
Anthony. $19.
The only problem I have with this one is, I mean, it's tack sharp, but I think the reds are a little bit too red for the tiger. You need to tone those down more toward yellow. I think these are a little bit too deep.
Oh, yummy. Photographer for dinner. $27.
Absolutely beautiful. Love the subject. We have the whole subject in. The color's great. Clarity is awesome. And great shot.
Landerman's Mill Creek. $17.
The exposure is a bit bright throughout here, and then this is the exposure here is good because this is where your light is all through back here. Your depth of field is the same problem as with the Niagara Falls. Everything's out of focus, and I'm not, again, if the maker wanted it to be artsy, it's almost not out of focus enough to be artsy, like the prison nurse nunnery or wherever was abandoned. You knew that was supposed to be that. So here it's all kind of out of focus. Framing, you've got issues. You've got goobers here, you've got that detracts, that's not additive here because the shot's more in here, and pretty much it. And you're missing a lot of your tonal contrast. It's very flat.
Who knew? Pumpkins can grow on trees.
This one here is just, there's just way too much stuff in there. I mean, I don't have any place for my eye to fall onto a single pumpkin. You got all these vines, the leaves, the bright sky. Yeah, you need to do a little more soul searching when you do these.
A night out.
Yeah. We got one in there first.
$21.
Cool subject.
Literally. Yeah.
I like how the lights are in the background and it kind of matches your glass here, and how you have these in the back. I think I would have taken this out right here.
Here.
Manchester Beach. $20.
Exposure, depth of field, and the technical issues are all very good. You've got a lot of tonal range here. You know, you can tell the blacks are black, the whites are white. You kind of expand through the tonal range, which, you know, black and white, that's what Ansel Adams always talking about, is your zone system. I mean, technically, it's very good. Artistically, I simply have issues because the subject is kind of a lot of big building things here that don't really give, I mean, a lot of impact as a group like that to my artistic eye, and that's.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5 little ducklings. $23.
The exposure is good. The only problem, this guy's out of focus, and that guy don't belong in there. Just, you know, you can just kind of pick up some stuff here and clone him right out. But these 4 ducks here are real cute. Yeah, the white frame is another thing. You don't want to put white on a frame because your eyeball always goes to something that's brighter than the subject, and that's where you suffer on this one. But it's a nice shot, nice grouping of the ducks, and again, get that guy out of there.
Only memories. $27.
Beautiful shot, looking out over the water there and that old building. Looks like maybe an old, yeah. But I like how it has the fog in the back and going through. It's really cool. I would print that one.
Might want to do that in black and white. I think that would be gorgeous in black and white. And the horizon line might be just a tad out of whack, but it's a nice shot. I like the composition of it, the haunting beauty of these old fish places along the coast. Really nice.
I want to go visit there.
Just the fishing. $23.
Cute portrait that's done in old-fashioned post-processing. Cute pose on the boy. The fishing pole's got a good angle. He's kind of looking off at something, which is okay because it just kind of adds a little bit to the mystery. Just a fun thing to put in the photo album.
Clear fork reflections. $20.
It probably leads to a waterfall, is the best thing I can get. I just have a little issue with these things out here being a little bit out of focus. This tree over here, I think you might have wanted to move over this way a little bit and just get that out of there. Right in here is a lot of good shots. A lot of people kind of miss these things. They're there and they don't see them. You want to get in there, just make a shot with those beautiful colors and a few stones in it. Simplicity, simplicity, simplicity.
The perfect rose. $19.
Naturally beautiful subject. It's not quite in focus. I think that your focus, you need to be focused in right here. I like how the lines come around. It seems like pinks are so hard to read.
Lazy river. $21.
HDR exposed, it looks like, because of where everything is. The focus is good, but the problem is it's framing issues. You've got this going to here, which goes down there, and that has nothing to do with the river. The bridge up here, do you think so?
Yeah.
Well, it's the river. I mean, that is a distractor because it's a powerful. Look how well it's lit. That triangle kind of doesn't do anything. You've got a plane up here, which is distracting. The wires above the bridge and the bridge have nothing to do with the lazy river. I mean, I think your image, your framing would be in here in order to get the beautiful light, the reflections here in the boats.
Silo City. $26.
This is a cool place. I can imagine, you go back and you think about all the activities that used to go on in these grain elevators and so forth, and you wonder what was down under here where this thing poured down grains. All the graffiti. And again, I think it's a projector. This probably looks a lot stronger on the screen than it does up here. Because we have a tendency with the white stuff just kind of gets washed out a little bit too much. And I don't know what we can do to control it either.
The corn sheller. $24.
I love the color. It's kind of like that harvest time look with the corn down there at the bottom. And I like how you can see the grain of the wood and how the wheel, I don't know what that thing is on that stuff.
Corn sheller.
I don't know that. I'm looking right at the wheel.
Says it right
The wooden
there.
handle. I'm not looking at the.
I like the wooden- I like
I
this
was
old
looking
wooden
at the
bucket.
wood and the wrought iron.
That's
I love
cool.
wrought iron.
Back off, and our final judging for the night.
We'll do the
20.
Technically, exposure focus is right on. Your color, your contrast is right on. You can see all the fur in there. Bit hot there, but it's going to be projector the same there. And I know it's a wild animal. Gosh, if it one more step to the right, it would have gotten both eyes, maybe.
Reach down and talk.
Yeah, just a bit. And, exactly.
That possum in the care.
I got to tell you a story about the wolf that was kind of glaring, yummy photographer. When I was up to the Canadian Wildlife Experience up near the northern part of the Georgian Bay, and they have wolves up there, penned wolves that you go in. Jack's been up there. Well, we were coming down the road, Wilson, the guy that owned the joint, coming down the road, and I said, "Hey, Wilson," I said, "one of your wolves is out." He said, "That ain't one of my wolves. It was a wild one." So he gunned this old F-250 down the road, and I could see the wolf kind of disappeared in front of the truck, and I thought, "Oh, I'm going to nail him." And he was off the side. So we went down by a pond, and I'm down there photographing some stuff, and he went back to the house, probably to go potty. He leaves me down there. So I look down the road, and who's coming down? That dude. That was the wild wolf. And I'm thinking, oh, potty time, I gotta go potty, you know. But, you know, fortunately, the wolves they get a bad rap. They're really not that bad. And he was by himself, so he kind of looked at me a little bit and then hauled. But, yeah, that was a wild one there. It was a big boy.
That's
Twenty-three.
23, little duck.
Yep, 23.
Tracy Green. Bill Coleman.
26, no,
No.
less.
Gerald Meredith.
27.
27.
Peggy Blair.
Those are icebergs in the back, Jack.
Oh,
It wasn't the horizon down here, the icebergs back.
that was Grubby said.
Pardon me, was it?
27. Bottom row.
Top crabs. Let me get the lights, please. Who's got the 50-50?
You're a great announcer.
Nobody has any trouble hearing.
Well, and you're not smile. Yeah, and and good inflection.
Next month I'll try to keep
Our
it on time.
50-50 number is 560-8.